Here we go. So, Baruch Hashem, we are back in business today. Today we will be learning a glorious Amud, Baruch Hashem, one of my favorites. This is Mamish, one of my favorite pieces of Gemara in the whole Masechta. So stay tuned. It also has nice pictures that I could draw, which also makes things even better. That's the second point. There's going to be a TV. Okay, there's going to be also a big guy sitting on some other people, so it's going to be good. Baruch Hashem, I'm very excited. So now, as well, before we begin, today it's an honor. We're going to be having in mind Miriam Bas Rivka for Refuah Shlema. Amen. Shishav Refuah Shlema. And let's begin. Okay. So now, also, if you weren't paying that much attention a previous day, this Gemara goes from a 2 dots till a period, meaning it's a piece on its own. So you could pay attention and get what's going on. And I would like to ask that to please disintegrate. Thank you. Push, whoosh, whoosh. Okay, fine. So here we go. Here's step 1. And we're going to learn the Beis. Okay, who knows the Beis? What happened over here? Yeah, I am a very, very nice, wealthy guy. I have expensive property, medium property, and little property. And I sell all my property to David. Or I sell all my property to 3 guys. I spell it to Ephraim. By the way, there's a lot of Ephraims here in this yeshiva. It's very interesting. And Levi, okay? So now, the Gemara says, Nichnesu tachas habe'olim. They take the place of the owner. So you have big, fat Yanko over here, okay? And you got the 3 other guys.
That guy is morbidly obese.
They take the place of the owner. Yeah, you understand?
Yeah.
Okay? They become the owner. What does that accomplish? If you become the owner, what does that accomplish, David?
You need to pay back the debt.
Yeah.
The debtor has to.
So therefore, no, that's not what it accomplishes. No, sorry. What does it accomplish, Maishi?
They also get the responsibilities of the land.
That's true, but that's not what it accomplishes. Levi, what does it accomplish? Okay, this is now for 5 extra points. Now no one got it.
500.
5 extra points. Now that no one got it yet.
What's the question?
What does the fact that they take the place of the owner, they're under, tachas literally means under. That's true, but that's not what it accomplishes. Kind of.
No, in order of it depends how much a property's worth is to who it goes.
They give it to the right type of property. That means,
That's what I said.
that means, what? I don't think so. I don't think anyone gets it.
I knew the answer.
How does that accomplish anything?
Okay, what it accomplishes is, if I sell a property to Beryl, then I sell a property to Davi, no matter who you are, you're going to have to collect from Davi first before you collect from Beryl. Beryl's going to be safe. You go after the last guy. Over here, when we say they take the place of the owner, they're underneath the owner, tachas, no, it's in concept. Yeah, that means that the nizak gets from idis, no matter whether idis was sold first or last. The Baal Chayiv gets from Beinidus, no matter, exactly, it gets rid of order. Okay? That's the Nakoda. Should we, by raise of hands, should we give Ephraim 5 points?
Sure. I'll take 5 points.
Yes? Okay. We're going to give Ephraim 5 points. Fine. So that's the idea. The idea is it accomplishes that the right guy, Nizak, he's going to get Idis. A Baal Chayiv is going to get Beinidus. And a Isha, a woman from her ksuba, is going to get Ziburis. Doesn't matter what order they were sold. Okay, the order of sale doesn't matter. What? So now, wait. So why? Because he sold all of them in one shot. What does it mean in one shot, Avi? One shot means in one day. Rashi says. So, for example, here, can we pause this video for a second? Thank you. So now, this is when he sold it all in one shot, okay? Now, it doesn't mean actually in one shot, 1 second. It just means in one day. Who knows why? Think about it. Why does it not matter? Let's say I sell David a house in the morning. 1 second, let me just finish this sentence and then I can deal with it. I sell David a house in the morning, I sell David a house at night. Right, Avi? So, why does it not matter? Why do we consider them the same? Because on the shtar it says the same date, and what does not say on the shtar? It doesn't say time. Ding, ding, ding. It doesn't say time. We don't list things on. We don't list time on shtar except if you live in. Tosfos says in Yerushalayim. In Yerushalayim, they used to write the hour. Okay, but everywhere else, it's all the same. So therefore, it's all considered in one shot, and therefore you look at how the owner would have to pay. That's how these guys have to pay. Okay,
So that's
you had a question?
Why do we have to specify when it was?
That it's all in one shot. It's considered all in one
Why
shot.
do we have to specify?
Because if they sell it zeh, if they sell it one after the other, that means I sell you a house today, him a house tomorrow, him a house the next day. Then you always collect from the last guy first, whether or not it's the best property, worst property. Yeah, Avi? Understand? You go after the last guy first. Okay, Shine. So now it's not racism; it's just facts. Okay. So now comes the question of the Gemara. What? Question of the Gemara. We're going to try to move along over here. Okay, we got to get through the whole Amud. So now, question of the Gemara is: if it is bivas achas, if you sold it to someone, one person, right? We said whether it's one person or three people. Why do I need to tell you about one person? Isn't that obvious? If I sell things to three people in one shot, you collect from the right guy, from the property that you're supposed to get. For sure, if I sell all my property to one person, he takes my place. He's tachas haba alim, and he is going to have to pay according to what you're supposed to pay. So why do we need the case of one person? One person case is unnecessary, is obvious in pshita. That's the classic word used over here. So answers the Gemara. The Gemara says, you're right. You're right. Usually it would be, what's superfluous? What's the word for this?
What?
Well, the word for something that's extra.
Superfluous.
Superfluous. Thank you. Oh, that's for sure an extra 5 points on your test. Okay. I see you graduated. Did you graduate? You graduated Ali Torah. L'chaim. The guy from Ali Torah is the one that knew the answer. L'chaim.
He gets 5 points. He's not gonna pay.
That's minus 10.
What? Okay, Shine. So the answer is, so the question is now, that case of one person, this case of the Gemara is unnecessary, right? This case of the price is obvious. If three people takes the place of the owner, for sure one person takes the place of the owner. Answers the Gemara, no. Because what happened was, it was bezeh achar zeh, it was one after the other, and the last thing that he sold this guy, this one person, was idis. So meaning he sold zeh achar zeh, one after the other. This stands for zeh achar zeh. This stands for zeh achar zeh. Zayin, Aleph, Zayin. Zeh achar zeh. Okay, why does it stand for that? Because I decided it stands for it. Okay, I never saw it in the Gemara, but that's what we're going to do over here. Okay, so zeh achar zeh. He sold it to one guy, one after the other. However, the last one he sold, was the best one. Oh, because if he sold the last one that he sold was the worst one, what do you get from? The worst. Anyways, think about it. I'm allowed to tell you, but I left the worst till afterwards. So you have to take from the worst.
If it only went to one person, why does it matter?
Oh, because it still was the last thing sold.
Last sale.
And I'm going to want to, I have the property, so I could give you what I want. So I'm going to obviously give you the worst. So when is this relevant? When does this matter? It matters when I sell it one after the other. That's step one. Step two, I sold the best property last. The buyer got the best property last. So he doesn't want to give Avi the best property. He doesn't want to give Ephraim the best property. He doesn't want to give all the lenders the best property. So what's he going to do? He's going to tell Avi, if you want to get something from me, I'm not giving you the best. I'm giving you what you're supposed to get, which is Beinanis. Yeah?
And how does that guy deal with?
I'm going to give you only mid-tier. I'm not going to give you the best. Oh, okay. What? Oh, so what do you wait, 1 second. I'm going to go through it. So again, zeh achar zeh, and the last one he bought was the best. He bought a skyscraper, a penthouse. Was the best. Was idis. Penthouse. Okay? Now. Let's think a little bit. Yeah, over here. Yeah?
Question, Rabbi.
Yeah.
What if you're renting or leasing a house?
I think that's not funny.
Renting or leasing, you don't own the house. I don't understand.
The damager is renting or leasing a house. Is the
No.
damagee allowed to take that house?
No.
I'm saying, is he rent?
I mean, it's not property. You could take something like he
It
could
is
pay with it.
property. The damager owns those houses. But he's
Okay.
leasing them or renting them
To
out.
someone else.
Yes.
So you could take it, yeah.
What?
That's when it gets complicated. That's when you need a rabbi. Because the question is what you do with that guy that's renting the house. You understand what I'm saying? Let's say Ephraim rents a house to Mendy, and then Ephraim owes me money. Okay, because I like being owed money. So now I come to collect it. Ephraim says, here, you can have this house. But what do we do with Mendy? What? Mendy's busy. Mendy's been living there for 3 years. He has a nice lease for another 2 years.
I got a wife and kids.
Say amen. Okay, yeah, so what are we going to do about that? Yeah? You understand what I'm saying? What happens to Mendy and his whole family? What are you going to do? So the answer is you go to a rabbi. I'm not at all. I don't this guy. These kind of things are a little bit beyond my pay grade. What? Rabbi Friedman? I guess so. I don't know. He actually does do some sort of these things. He's done like some geirim with Rabbi. What's his name? No. No. Rabbi. I don't remember the other guy here. Okay, Shine. Not Lubavitcher, but he's a good guy. Okay. In any event. So first of all, so now let's get this case a little bit ironed out over here. Yeah. Okay. Well. If the last thing I bought was Idis, Chevre, if the last thing I bought was Idis, was the best land, okay, so then it should be you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. You should get Idis, you should get Idis, and he should get Idis. Everyone should get Idis. Why should everyone get Idis? Because that's the last thing. Again, Yainko owed you money. Hello? Yainko owed you money. Yainko sold his Idis last. So you were going to get the Idis until you went and sold it. So, but you still get the Idis because the Idis was the last thing sold. So why doesn't everyone get Idis? That's the question of the Gemara. Why doesn't everyone get Idis? Yeah, who could give me an answer? No? For 5 extra points on the test and a shout out on the board. Who knows the answer?
What's the question?
Why doesn't everyone get Idis? The last thing sold was Idis, so everyone should get Idis. All the people he owes money to should get the Idis.
How does everyone get the same thing?
Well, because he has a lot of Idis. He has 5 penthouses. Come on, this guy knew what he was doing. Then he went bankrupt, by the way.
What a loser.
What a loser! I don't know. So I'll tell you a Maisa. Yeah. The Maisa is that Donald J. Trump. You ever heard of the guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was walking once down the street. This is what he says. That doesn't mean it's true. It just means it's a good story. Okay, and he walked by a homeless guy that was right in front of his big tower in Manhattan. And what did he say? He pointed to the guy. What did he say?
He's worth $400
No,
million more.
he's $4 billion richer than I am. $4 million?
400 million.
$400 million more than I am. Why? Because he at that time went bankrupt. He went bankrupt like 5 times. Okay, but he at that time owed $400 million. So that guy that had $0 was $400 million richer than him. Okay. Anyway, so going bankrupt is not always a bad thing. My father's actually a bankruptcy lawyer, so meaning there's a lot of rich people that go bankrupt all the time. Okay. In any event.
Because they don't care. They just take out the money. They just compensate bankrupt, open a new company.
Whatever it is. Anyways, they figure it out. So l'chaim l'bracha. So how are we getting? What we get? We got caught over here. Oh, this guy has tons of idis. Why doesn't everyone get idis? Why do we split it up? No, Mendy, come on. You have some good thoughts over here. Why doesn't everyone get idis? Why do we force Why do we force the Baal Chayv to get Beinarnis and the woman that's getting her ksuba to get ziburas? The last thing sold was idis.
No, because it's only.
Oh, you're tired.
Because of racism.
What?
How can everyone get the best?
He has tons of the best property. He has 5 different penthouses.
They don't deserve it.
Why not? The last thing sold was idis. You get the last.
Oh, because
They were not sold at the same time. We said zeh. We already made the case.
Prove it if you owe money.
Huh?
You have to prove if you owe money.
You have to prove it if you owe money. I'm trying to understand how that answers the question. So what? You should get idis.
Why should you get it?
We know. Everyone's agreeing. It was the last thing sold. Everyone agrees. The guy agrees himself. You're not looking at your Gemara. You can figure it out.
Wait, they were all his houses
What?
were sold. All his houses.
Oh, okay.
All his houses were sold.
Again, he sold all his houses. He sold first the worst houses. Then he sold the medium houses. And then finally he sold his best houses. So the last thing sold is the best house. He should, if you're going to collect now, you collect from the last thing sold first.
That's not how it works because you're going to collect for whatever you're supposed to get.
Why? We just said that because the last thing sold was idis, we end up splitting it to what you're supposed to get. We shouldn't do that. We should just look at the last thing and give everyone idis.
Why would we want to do that?
Well, the guy collecting wants it.
Yeah, well, that's not fair.
He wants a
No,
penthouse.
Better stuff because
Just because he owes him money doesn't mean he has to.
So now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere.
That's not fair.
A shtickle. You kind of have the answer. Not really, but you kind of have the answer.
It's not
Okay?
fair to him.
It's not fair to him.
Just because he owes him money doesn't mean he has to lose his best
So like this, he never owed anyone money. The other guy owed someone money. Remember, this guy's a big hawk. Okay, what happened was this Yanko was really rich. Okay, then he lost his pants. So what did he do? He went and he started selling houses to David. And then the creditors, the guy he owed money to, came on his case, on Yanko's case, and started taking the properties from you, David. Now you're in the pickle. Not Yanko. Yanko he went bankrupt anyways. Okay, you're the guy that's getting messed over over here.
Him. Why would he lose money?
What?
Rabbi.
Again.
What?
Who's collecting the money?
The
I'm Yanko. I was rich.
The
Okay.
third guy.
I sold my properties to you. You didn't know this, but I owed millions of dollars to someone else.
400 million.
Okay, 400 million. That guy's coming and getting the property from you because he was supposed to get the property first before I sold it to you. So you're the one that gets messed over. I don't. I was already bankrupt.
Why should he get messed over? Because
What?
you were a failure.
It does. So now.
Wait, is the
Because of that, right? Oh, wait.
is the threat of
Right.
if you don't take the regular one, that will just pass it back to you?
Oh, he said it. The idea is, he gets 5 extra points. The idea is, you could say, David, you have all the property right now, right?
Yeah.
You could say, if you collect what you're supposed to collect from, either it's Idis, or Benanis, or Ziburis, then I'll give you that property. If not, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take the worst property, this broken down hut in a group of houses in Detroit, and I'm going to sell it back. I'm going to give it back to the owner. And you're going to have to get that.
What's the problem with that?
If you don't want those, then take Benanis. If you don't want those, take what you're supposed to take.
Wait, but
Because if you don't take what you're supposed to take, I'm going to mess you back over, and I'm going to give the owner back his land, and you're going to have to take the worst land possible from him. That's what he says to him. Again, he says,
Why did you just not make the first threat? Just say the second threat. Like say, no, you're gonna get this no matter what. You're not getting Benanis. You're getting the worst.
the guy says, no, I don't want to. So he says, okay, I'm going to give back the worst land.
Okay.
And then you're going to have to get the worst
I don't
land.
want to give Benanis. I want to give the worst one, the Detroit one.
So that's Taisus. Taisus says, why didn't he actually do it, right? Why didn't he actually give back the Detroit stuff?
Okay, so what's that?
The answer is, you're right, he could, but then he would actually have to actually give it back to the owner. Yeah, he doesn't want it. Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
So then, if you don't want to actually go through the whole hassle of giving it back,
He'll do it.
yeah. You're right. But anyways, let's get back to the Gemara. You understand the answer? I don't want to get everyone else confused.
I get the answer. I don't get the question.
Okay. So now, why doesn't everyone get Idis? The answer is because the guy that owns now all the land can say either, he says the following, this is his quote, either take the type of property you're supposed to get, type you are supposed to get, or I will give the owner, the previous owner back the worst land. You're going to have to get the worst land.
How do you give it back?
He hands him back the star. Or I will
He doesn't accept it.
give, he throws it into his house. Give back Ziburis. And you'll all be getting Ziburis. Okay? Who has a question about this answer?
What's the question again?
Question is, if the last thing he bought was Idis, everyone should be getting Idis.
Is that one or?
And the answer is no, because he could hack everyone to Chinik. The guy that, the buyer.
This is the one guy or the three guys?
This is the one guy that bought one after the
What are
other.
they gonna say?
The 3 guys, so they all bought it at the same time.
I don't either. But I didn't realize the kids that he owed money.
So all three of them could collectively say this?
No, because the 3 guys are all old at the same time. They really do take the place of the owner. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Fine. So we're gonna. By the way, right now the Gemara's. We spent all this time trying to get to this answer. We're just gonna get rid of it right away. Okay. So we spent Baruch Hashem, it's good. Torah is to learn, not always to have it. So we're gonna say this doesn't really work out. Why not? Because we have lenders, Baal Chayv, we have Ksuba, and then we have a Nizak, right? Guy that got damaged, the victim that got damaged. That guy is gonna not work. This is not gonna make sense for him. Okay? Because because the Nizak collects Idis anyways. You kind of said it. What's the problem? Again, the Beinanis, the Beinanis goes to the Baal Chayv. The Ziburis goes to the Ksuba, the woman. But the Nizak is getting Idis. Why are you giving him Idis at all? There's nothing that he is going to gain. Yeah, sorry. Why does he get Idis? Yeah, he should at least get just Beinanis. Think about it. I say I'm going to give the worst land back to the owner. You're going to have to get it from him if you don't take what you're supposed to get. So he doesn't have to say that. Why? Because he could say, similar to saying about this case of Ziburis, yeah, let's switch out the word Ziburis and put in the word Beinanis, middle. Yeah, so this guy could tell the Nizak, the guy that he damaged, he could say, if you want, take Beinanis, not Idis. Take Beinanis. If not, I'm going to give back Ziburis, you're going to have to get Ziburis. Why is the buyer giving the nizak idis? He could force him to take beinanis. Okay, so I'm going to say it in a different words, yeah? You have this buyer. He is giving now the nizak idis. He turns around and he says, why am I giving this nizak barrel? Why am I giving him idis? I don't need to give him idis. I'll give him beinanis. I'll give him mid-tier stuff. And he's going to take it. Because he knows if he doesn't take it, I'm going to force him to take ziburis. Because I'm going to give back ziburis to the previous owner. So he's forced, the nizak is forced to take not idis, beinanis. So why did we conclude that the nizak gets idis? No one should be getting idis. Yeah? Who has a question about this? So let's write this down. What's this, number 5? Number 6 over here. Number 6 is why, a question. This disproves. This is actually going to be the disproof question. The disproof is, why does a nizak get idis? The buyer should force him to take ziburis, to take beinanis, mid-tier. To take beinanis, saying, if you do not take it, I will force you to get ziburis. How? How is he going to force him to get ziburis? He's going to return ziburis to the owner. Who could tell me this answer, this disproof? Who's able to explain the disproof to everyone?
You.
For 5 extra points on your test.
You.
Me? I just explained it. That's why I wanted to check if someone else could explain it.
I don't know.
So why does this? Again, we're trying to say that the nizak gets idis, the baal chayv gets beinanis, the woman gets ziburis. Yeah. So these two make sense. The baal chayv has to take his beinanis because if not, he's going to end up getting ziburis. The ksuba woman has to take ziburis because there's no other option. But the nizak, why does he take idis? I could force him to take beinanis and tell him, if you don't take beinanis, I'm going to make you take ziburis.
Well, why would you
What?
even give him that option if you just force him to take ziburis?
Right, that's the question of the Gemara. The Gemara says it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, because you would just force him to take
No, I
ziburis.
feel
Why
like-
would you
Correct.
give him the option
Well, no, you can force him to take beinanis. Ziburis is going to take some work on your part. Ziburis is going to force him to take some on your part. Wait. The answer is that Ziburis is going to force you to have some work. You are going to need, if you want to get him to take Ziburis, he could say back to you, go ahead and actually give back the land.
Why would you not do that?
Because it's going to be a hassle. You have to
losing
find the
anyways.
guy. Yeah, but now you
You're
can just
losing business,
hand.
actually. You're
No.
losing the better land that you had.
But now you could just get rid of him. He won't bother you. If not, you're going to have to go through the whole sale process. You know how hard it is to buy a house or sell a house?
Sounds pretty
It's a
simple.
lot of paperwork.
A lot of paperwork, I'm telling you.
It
It's a lot
depends.
of paperwork.
Okay.
Well, that for sure. But
So what I'm saying, it takes a time. It's annoying. You just want to get rid of it.
yeah, but then you have to sell him the same exact house.
But you have to go find the guy and take him to Beis and do a whole
The
set
guy's
of.
probably around. If you're fighting
Anyways,
for a house,
Mendy, what's your thought? You had a question before.
It's not making any sense.
No? Okay. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Shine. So now let's get to the realer answer over here. Yeah? So here comes an answer. So here's the real explanation of the Gemara. What case is there? Beryl, what case is there? What case is there?
What case is there?
You come back?
What case is there?
Okay. What case is there where there's one guy, he bought all 3 lands, that he needs to give each person the type he's supposed to get? Yeah? Okay. So the answer is, and this is the real answer of the Gemara, we're going to put a megaphone over here, okay, because this is the one. We're going to say it very loudly. This is step number 7, is where the seller, the guy that owed everyone money, dropped dead.
Oh my gosh.
Okay?
What was that happening for?
So again, he owed so many people money, he had a heart attack, and he dropped dead. Anyone know this happening to someone?
Like Fred's father.
Really? Oy vey.
No, he didn't die, but
What happened?
lost a lot of money.
What do you mean, what happened?
I
Don't say his name. Just say tell me his story.
There was a guy that owed a lot of money, and when you deal with a lot of money on property, you want to have a middleman. So the middleman basically just owed a lot of people money, took the money. That was when my friend's father was buying a house, buying like a property. Took the money, paid off all his debt, and comes up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That's pretty crazy.
If you're gonna kill yourself, why are you paying back your debt?
Because your kids inherit your debt.
Did he have kids? The middleman?
Uh-huh. In any event, that sounds pretty gruesome. So in any event, over here the answer is the guy that owes money, okay? The borrower or the seller, he dies. Okay? We're gonna make him a little coffin over here. Ephraim. We're gonna make him a coffin. Okay, Mendy, we ready to roll?
10 more. Actually, 11.
All right, last 10 I want to sit on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get one more.
Yeah, but you're some Jack Buffer.
You gotta do one of them.
Okay. You know that it's a Perek Tanya to do 101 instead of 100.
Facts. It's actually a thing?
Yeah. We're gonna learn the Perek Tanya. Oh, he did it. Everyone, please give Mendy a round of applause.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the answer is. Now we're gonna get back to this. Yeah, we're on YouTube. Okay. Now the answer is very simple over here.
YouTube live.
Ephraim, you ready?
No.
The answer is the seller dropped dead. This is his coffin. This is his coffin over here. Okay? He's dead. Now, there's the Yosemim. There are orphans. The rule is orphans do not pay back their father's debt, according to Jewish law.
Except in America.
Don't repay. There are certain circumstances when they do, so don't worry. Don't repay debt. It's part of the contract. There's ways to do it. Anyways, don't repay debt. So now, who's going to have to pay? No? Tell me. Who has to pay?
His inheritors.
What?
His inheritors.
The? No.
Inheritors.
No.
Is the person who bought.
The buyer has to pay. He has no choice. The buyer doesn't have anyone else to back him up. Buyer must pay. The guy. No, the buyer's alive. The seller's dead. Seller dies. The guy that owed money originally dies. So the kids don't need to pay those people anymore. Those people that are owed money come to the buyer, the person that owns the house now.
That sucks.
And they collect and you cannot get rid of them. Because you cannot get rid of them, you must give them what they're supposed to get. And therefore the Nizuk is going to get in this. Is going to get the best because that's what he's supposed to get.
Okay, so what's the problem?
Nothing. There's no problems anymore. And that's how the Gemara finds a solution. Now,
I thought we were just proving this whole thing.
what?
Happened.
Oh, I missed that part. Weren't we
That
just proving
was
the
the
whole
whole thing.
facts case?
Yeah, we just did. Now we're saying it's a new case.
Because how come the Nizuk would get? How can we say that the Nizuk gets Idis? If the buyer could just force him to get Zaburis by selling it back to the original owner.
Right.
So the answer to that is because the original owner doesn't exist anymore.
He's dead.
Yeah.
So you can't do that, so you want to give him babies.
I'm saying ideally you'd want to give him Benedus, but you can't because there's no one to sell your Zaburis back to as a threat.
So he could just choose to get his.
Yeah, because that's what he's required to get.
So now we're going to go back to the same thing, yeah? Wait, Ephraim, you ready for this one? Why doesn't, this is the same question we had before. If the last property he bought was Idis, why doesn't everyone get the last property, which is Idis? Everyone should get Idis, because the last thing he bought was Idis. Yeah? Wait about 1 more minute. We're going to be done in a minute. And this is the last answer, and this is a good you said you have to know, okay? The Chachamim only try to help people. They only make rules in order to help you. Therefore, this rule that as long as there's something not sold, you pay from that thing, meaning let's say there's an owner that owns something still, you have to take the property that he owns, right? So you have to take the Idis because the owner owned the Idis last. That rule was only made to help the buyer, not to help the seller. It's to help the person that's buying property that you shouldn't go and buy and take away his property. You should have to take the property that you still own first. you're allowed to say, I don't want the help that the Chachamim are giving me. So for example, when a woman gets married, this is what the Gemara says. When a woman gets married, the woman has to be fed from the husband. Let's say it the other way around. The husband has to support his wife. Now, because of that, the woman gives all her money to her husband. But even if the woman doesn't make enough money, right, she still gets supported, So for example, almost everyone has this. My wife doesn't work as much as I do because my wife takes care, Baruch Hashem, of the family and the house and everything. And therefore, I support her. I give her more money than she brings in, right? She spends more money than what, but that's how it's supposed to be. Baruch Hashem, You guys should know this for the future. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go to work, make money, give it to your wife. Your wife's supposed to spend all your money. Okay? It's great. Okay? Yeah. As it says in the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, what's mine is yours and what's yours is yours. Well, okay, Shane. No, it's not. I don't care about being politically correct. It's just a fact. Okay? You're supposed to help your wife. Anyways. You're a feminist. That was the funniest line of the day. Okay, so everyone should get into this. The answer is no, because this was only the institution of getting paid from the last thing was only made for my benefit, me, the buyer's benefit. If I don't want that benefit, I could say, don't give me the benefit. Don't give me the rule of the Chacham that you collect from the last property. I'll let you collect from an earlier property. I am allowed to decide whether I want to take a takana of the Chachamim for my benefit. Just like a woman is allowed to decide, I don't want to get food for my husband, and I want to keep my money. She's allowed to decide that. Yes. If she's making tons of money, she says, I want to keep my money, I'm going to pay for my food, and I'm not going to take money from you.
Okay, but then you don't have to give her your own money.
Correct, but she keeps her own money. So let's say she's a bajillionaire, you're not going to get any of it.
Okay, so why
Let's say she's, I don't know, a diamond merchant. Okay?
You can't even get it as a divorce.
So what are we saying over here? You are allowed, takana of the Chachamim, takana dirabanan, is for your benefit. You choose, over here in this case, the reason why not everyone's getting it is because you choose not to use the takana. And that's why not everyone's going to get the idis. Just like a woman could say, Ein nizainis, nizainis, I am not going to get food from my husband. And eini oiseh, I'm not going to go work. I'm going to starve. She's allowed to say that. Okay? Now, the eini nizainis, I'm not going to get mazain. Like hazan es hakol, I'm not going to get food. And I'm not going to... So now, before we end, I just want to put the musag on the board. Today's musag, eini nizainis, I'm not going to get food. The eini oiseh, and I'm not going to... And I'm not going to what? I'm not going to work. Okay? Now today's... It's okay. Today's musag, Avi, you ready for today's musag? You have to know this.
Yeah.
Is nechasim mishubadim. That means property that was sold. Sold property. So, for example, the buyer owns it now, not the seller. Not the guy that owns. The guy that owes money no longer owns the property. I sold my property. Nechasim b'nei chayrin. Property that I still own. Property that's mine. Okay, these are my property. Okay, so this is the musag of today. Nechasim mishubadim means property I sold. Nechasim nechayim, property I still have. Have a wonderful day. It was a very nice share.